Keeping blood sugar steady is a daily puzzle for many living with diabetes. But the secret might not just be in the foods themselves. Did you know that certain natural ingredients can boost your body's response to protein and help stabilize glucose levels? Ready to discover simple strategies that improve blood sugar control without drastic diet changes? Let's dive into smart food choices and thoughtful add-ons that can support your health journey. Stick around as we explore 10 powerful protein sources perfect for diabetics. Let's begin with number 1. 1. Eggs. Eggs provide a dense nutritional matrix ideal for blood sugar stability. The sulfur-containing amino acids in egg whites, particularly cysteine and methionine, support detoxification pathways that can be impaired in diabetics. These amino acids also play a role in modulating oxidative stress, which is elevated in chronic hyperglycemia. The yolk contains lutein and zeaxanthin, which are carotenoids essential for eye health, an important factor in diabetes management due to retinopathy risk. Choline, another nutrient concentrated in eggs, supports liver function and may help reduce insulin resistance. Studies also show that egg consumption can improve endothelial function, important for vascular health. Regular egg consumption is linked to increased satiety hormones like GLP-1 and peptide YY, reducing overall caloric intake and improving weight control, a key element in managing type 2 diabetes. Eggs are rich in biotin, which supports fat and carbohydrate metabolism at the cellular level, potentially aiding insulin signaling. This is critical in type 2 diabetics who often suffer from insulin receptor defects. Moreover, egg phospholipids, such as phosphatidylcholine, may influence lipid metabolism, reducing hepatic fat accumulation and improving metabolic flexibility. These factors contribute to better insulin sensitivity and reduce liver inflammation. The structure of egg protein allows for a slow digestion rate, helping maintain amino acid availability over time without sudden spikes in blood glucose or insulin demand. Egg-based breakfasts have been shown to reduce postprandial glucose fluctuations compared to high-carb options. Additionally, egg consumption has been associated with increased HDL function, which may protect against atherosclerosis, a major diabetic complication. Importantly, recent evidence suggests eggs do not significantly raise LDL in most individuals and may instead shift particles toward a larger, less atherogenic pattern. These features make eggs highly favorable for blood sugar and cardiovascular balance. 2. Fatty fish sources. Fatty fish offer bioavailable protein and high concentrations of long-chain omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA, which support anti-inflammatory processes crucial for diabetic patients. Chronic inflammation in diabetes can exacerbate insulin resistance and contribute to complications like nephropathy. EPA and DHA have been shown to lower the expression of pro-inflammatory cytokines and improve endothelial cell function. This helps in preserving blood vessel health, reducing risks of cardiovascular events, which are significantly elevated in diabetes. Unlike plant sources, marine omega-3s directly impact membrane fluidity and signaling in insulin-sensitive tissues. Fish peptides derived during digestion may possess bioactive properties that influence glucose uptake and lipid metabolism. These peptides can inhibit DPP-4, the enzyme that degrades incretin hormones like GLP-1, indirectly supporting insulin secretion. Sardines in particular contain taurine, a conditionally essential amino acid that improves mitochondrial function and reduces oxidative stress, both of which are disturbed in diabetes. Taurine also appears to aid in preventing advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which contribute to vascular damage and organ dysfunction. These mechanisms operate independently of the fish's fat content. The high vitamin D content in fatty fish is relevant because deficiency is common in people with diabetes and is associated with worsened insulin resistance. Vitamin D enhances calcium signaling in pancreatic beta cells, aiding insulin release. Mackerel and salmon are also rich in selenium, which supports glutathione peroxidase activity, a key antioxidant defense disrupted in diabetics. The combination of selenium and omega-3s enhances the antioxidant network and may improve lipid handling by the liver. This can reduce the risk of hepatic steatosis, which often coexists with insulin resistance in diabetic individuals. 3. Chicken breast, skinless. Skinless chicken breast is a lean source of complete protein and contains a unique amino acid profile that supports lean muscle retention. In diabetics, maintaining muscle mass is essential as it enhances peripheral glucose disposal. Leucine, abundant in chicken, activates the mTOR pathway, which supports muscle protein synthesis and insulin signaling. This effect is especially useful in older adults with type 2 diabetes who experience muscle wasting. Unlike red meat, chicken is low in heme iron, which may reduce oxidative load and lower the risk of endothelial dysfunction. The niacin content in chicken breast plays a role in energy metabolism and may influence HDL levels positively. Niacin supports NAD/NADH balance, important for cellular redox status and mitochondrial function. Chicken also contains carnosine, a dipeptide that buffers acid in muscle cells and protects against glycation, an issue in chronic hyperglycemia. Carnosine may also protect the kidneys and retina from oxidative damage. Moreover, chicken provides B6, a cofactor in over 100 enzymatic reactions, including those involved in gluconeogenesis and amino acid metabolism. Consuming lean poultry may also help with post-meal glucose control. When combined with complex carbohydrates due to its impact on gastric emptying rates, slower digestion can reduce glucose surges and insulin spikes. Additionally, the low-fat content in skinless chicken reduces postprandial lipemia, beneficial for diabetics with elevated triglyceride levels. Regular consumption of chicken breast, when prepared without frying, may contribute to lower CRP levels, a marker of inflammation. These multifaceted effects support its use as a core protein in diabetic diets. 4. Greek yogurt, unsweetened. Unsweetened Greek yogurt is a fermented dairy product rich in casein and whey proteins, which exert different effects on glucose metabolism. Whey stimulates a stronger insulin response due to its rapid absorption and bioactive peptide content. These peptides can modulate insulinotropic hormones and delay gastric emptying, flattening glucose curves. Fermentation by probiotics enhances the bioavailability of these peptides and introduces beneficial bacterial strains that may improve gut barrier function. This is vital for diabetics prone to systemic inflammation due to gut dysbiosis. Greek yogurt contains calcium and magnesium in highly absorbable forms, both of which are necessary for proper insulin secretion and receptor function. Diabetics often have subclinical deficiencies in these minerals, which impair glucose tolerance. Yogurt also has conjugated linoleic acid CLA, a fatty acid that has been studied for its role in improving body composition and reducing fat mass, especially visceral fat. Reducing visceral fat enhances insulin sensitivity and lowers systemic inflammation. These effects are independent of yogurt's carbohydrate content. Consistent intake of fermented dairy products like Greek yogurt has been associated with reduced markers of metabolic syndrome, including lower waist circumference and improved lipid panels. The probiotics in yogurt may also influence bile acid metabolism, altering lipid absorption and glucose homeostasis. Strains such as lactobacillus and bifidobacterium have demonstrated ability to lower fasting glucose and HbA1c in controlled settings. These outcomes suggest that the benefits of Greek yogurt go beyond protein content and extend to metabolic reprogramming through gut-liver axis modulation. 5. Lentils. Lentils offer a complex matrix of slow-digesting starch, polyphenols, and amino acids that collectively support metabolic health in diabetics. One unique aspect is their high content of resistant starch, which escapes digestion and undergoes fermentation in the colon. This produces short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which have anti-inflammatory properties and support gut integrity. A stable gut barrier is crucial in preventing systemic endotoxin leakage that worsens insulin resistance. Lentils also reduce post-meal glucose peaks when replacing higher glycemic foods. In addition to their prebiotic effects, lentils are rich in bioactive compounds like flavonoids, saponins, and tannins. These compounds have been shown to inhibit alpha-glucosidase, an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates in the small intestine. Slowing this process reduces glucose absorption and lowers postprandial glycemic load. Lentils also contain lignans that may modulate estrogen receptors and improve insulin sensitivity, particularly in females with metabolic syndrome. These effects are not typically seen in more refined protein sources. Lentils provide substantial amounts of arginine, an amino acid that promotes nitric oxide synthesis and enhances endothelial function. Improved nitric oxide bioavailability helps regulate blood pressure and may prevent vascular stiffness. Arginine also supports immune function and wound healing, which are often impaired in uncontrolled diabetics. Moreover, lentils contain high levels of folate, important for homocysteine metabolism and cardiovascular health. These features make lentils uniquely beneficial beyond their role as a vegetarian protein source. 6. Chickpeas. Chickpeas offer a robust amino acid profile that includes isoleucine and valine, both of which support muscle metabolism and recovery in people managing diabetes. Their naturally high manganese content contributes to mitochondrial energy production, a function often impaired in insulin-resistant states. Manganese also supports antioxidant enzyme activity, which can reduce cellular damage linked to elevated blood glucose. The slow digestion rate of chickpeas helps avoid metabolic stress by providing steady nutrient release over time. In addition to macronutrients, chickpeas contain saponins that interact with cholesterol metabolism by binding bile acids and increasing their excretion. This forces the liver to use circulating cholesterol to create more bile, indirectly supporting cardiovascular health in diabetic individuals. Chickpeas also contain molybdenum, which aids in detoxification processes relevant to sulfite metabolism. This mineral, though less discussed, plays a role in regulating metabolic pathways involving uric acid and aldehydes, which are relevant in diabetic complications. Chickpeas are also rich in unique oligosaccharides that influence the gut microbiome positively. These fermentable fibers increase populations of beneficial bacteria that modulate immune responses and hormone signaling. Studies suggest that regular consumption of chickpeas improves satiety hormones and reduces leptin resistance, helping with appetite regulation. The mineral composition, including copper and phosphorus, also supports connective tissue integrity and energy storage in cells, functions that are frequently compromised in people with poor glycemic control. 7. Tofu. Tofu, derived from coagulated soy milk, delivers a low glycemic, plant-based protein source that supports glucose regulation without placing excess metabolic demand on insulin pathways. Its isoflavones, particularly genistein and digoxin, interact with estrogen receptors and modulate AMPK signaling, enhancing insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. These phytoestrogens also reduce adipocyte inflammation, which plays a major role in the development of insulin resistance in visceral fat deposits. The protein matrix of tofu is rich in arginine and glutamine, amino acids that influence endothelial nitric oxide synthesis and gut barrier integrity, respectively. By preserving vascular function and reducing intestinal permeability, tofu indirectly supports better glycemic control and lowers systemic inflammation. Its high calcium content in a bioavailable form also contributes to intracellular insulin signaling, especially in skeletal muscle. Tofu's low saturated fat profile avoids triggering postprandial lipotoxicity, and its neutral taste makes it a versatile option for reducing dietary glycemic load when used to replace refined carbohydrates. Importantly, tofu does not stimulate significant post-meal glucose excursions, making it ideal for maintaining flatter glucose curves across meals. Its mild effect on incretin release also benefits those with impaired early-phase insulin response. Fermented forms of tofu may offer additional benefits due to enhanced bioavailability of peptides with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds assist in lowering oxidative stress markers like MDA, malondialdehyde, which are often elevated in type 2 diabetes. As a soy-derived protein, tofu also contributes to modest LDL cholesterol reduction, providing dual metabolic and cardiovascular advantages. 8. Tempeh. Tempeh, a fermented whole soybean product, offers more than just plant-based protein. It provides a functional matrix rich in probiotics, fiber, vitamins, and bioactive compounds that make it uniquely powerful in blood sugar regulation. Unlike tofu, tempeh retains the soy hulls, which deliver prebiotic fibers that enhance gut microbiota diversity and butyrate production. This modulation of the gut ecosystem has been linked to reduced insulin resistance and better GLP-1 signaling. Fermentation dramatically increases the bioavailability of isoflavones and creates peptides that inhibit DPP-4 enzymes, mimicking pharmaceutical incretin enhancers. This slows the breakdown of GLP-1, improving both insulin secretion and satiety in people with impaired glucose tolerance. Moreover, Tempeh's fermentation process reduces anti-nutrients like phytates, enhancing absorption of key minerals like magnesium and zinc, both essential for proper insulin signaling. The dense structure of Tempeh slows digestion, leading to a delayed glycemic response and reduced postprandial insulin peaks. It also supports lean mass maintenance due to its complete amino acid profile, which is especially important for individuals with diabetic muscle wasting or sarcopenic obesity. Tempeh also contains manganese and copper, cofactors in mitochondrial antioxidant enzymes like superoxide dismutase, which reduce oxidative burden in hyperglycemic states. Its naturally occurring probiotics may strengthen mucosal immunity and reduce systemic endotoxemia, a key trigger in insulin resistance. Tempeh's dual role as a prebiotic and probiotic-rich food makes it metabolically adaptive, especially for individuals with glucose dysregulation linked to gut-derived inflammation. 9. Cottage cheese, low-fat. Low-fat, unsweetened cottage cheese is a highly digestible animal protein with a powerful impact on glycemic regulation due to its unique balance of casein and whey. Casein digests slowly, maintaining amino acid levels over time and reducing hepatic glucose output by stimulating insulin-independent glucose transporters like GLUT1. Whey, on the other hand, quickly boosts insulin secretion through amino acid-induced incretin stimulation. Cottage cheese is especially rich in leucine and isoleucine, branched-chain amino acids BCAAs that activate mTOR, signaling to stimulate muscle protein synthesis and glucose uptake. These effects counteract the muscle loss that often accompanies poorly managed diabetes. In addition, the high content of vitamin B12 supports nerve function and methylation cycles, which can be disrupted in diabetic neuropathy and high homocysteine states. Its calcium content plays a direct role in pancreatic beta cell insulin release and also enhances insulin-mediated calcium-dependent glucose transport. This mineral is delivered in a matrix that improves its absorption without increasing saturated fat intake, making it a safer protein option for cardiovascular health in diabetics. Cottage cheese also has a natural buffering effect on carbohydrate digestion when consumed with higher glycemic foods, lowering the overall glycemic index of the meal. Furthermore, it contains bioactive peptides that exhibit ACE inhibitory properties, helping to reduce blood pressure, a common comorbidity in type 2 diabetes. This makes it not just a protein source, but also a functional dairy food with metabolic benefits. 10. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds provide a potent mix of plant protein, healthy fats, fiber, and bioactive compounds that target multiple metabolic dysfunctions in diabetes. Almonds, for example, contain L-arginine and magnesium, nutrients essential for insulin receptor function and endothelial nitric oxide production. The monounsaturated fats in almonds also improve lipid metabolism and reduce postprandial insulin requirements by slowing gastric emptying. Chia seeds are rich in alpha-linolenic acid ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that modulates PPAR signaling pathways involved in lipid and glucose metabolism. Their gel-forming soluble fiber dramatically delays gastric emptying and glucose absorption, leading to a smoother and lower post-meal glycemic response. Chia also contains quercetin and camphorol, flavonoids that reduce oxidative stress and support microvascular health. Flax seeds, on the other hand, are uniquely high in lignans, like secoisolaracericinol diglucoside, SDG, which may reduce the activity of glucose-metabolizing enzymes and improve insulin efficiency. These lignans also act as phytoestrogens, beneficial in improving insulin sensitivity, particularly in postmenopausal women with type 2 diabetes. Flax seeds' high fiber and omega-3 content improve lipid profiles, reduce inflammation, and support liver detoxification, lowering systemic insulin resistance. All nuts and seeds are low in net carbohydrates, and their nutrient density allows them to stabilize blood sugar without contributing to excessive caloric load when eaten in moderation. Their unique combination of polyphenols and micronutrients, like zinc, manganese, and vitamin E, supports pancreatic beta cell function and reduces oxidative damage caused by persistent hyperglycemia. These properties make nuts and seeds a strategic addition to the diabetic diet for long-term metabolic resilience. Now let's explore natural add-ons that boost protein's benefits and aid blood sugar control. Integrating functional add-ons like turmeric, ginger, apple cider vinegar, and cinnamon into protein-rich meals can significantly improve blood sugar regulation and metabolic health for diabetics. Turmeric, especially its active compound curcumin, has been shown to reduce systemic inflammation and enhance insulin sensitivity by downregulating inflammatory cytokines and improving V cell function. When added to tofu or tempeh dishes, turmeric works synergistically with the plant-based protein to moderate glucose uptake and support liver function. Similarly, ginger helps stimulate glucose uptake in muscle cells without raising insulin levels and may improve HbA1c when used consistently. Adding ginger to stir-fries or broths with tofu or tempeh not only enhances flavor, but also provides anti-diabetic effects backed by clinical research. Apple cider vinegar. ACV, when consumed before or alongside a protein-rich meal, may reduce the post-meal spike in blood glucose by slowing gastric emptying and improving muscle glucose uptake. This is particularly helpful for diabetics who struggle with postprandial hyperglycemia. 1 to 2 teaspoons diluted in water or drizzled on salads accompanying a protein meal can yield measurable benefits. Cinnamon, rich in polyphenols, increases insulin receptor activity and improves cellular glucose uptake. This makes it a smart addition to dairy-based protein meals like cottage cheese, especially when combined with low glycemic fruits or seeds. These functional ingredients are not only easy to add to meals, but also serve as evidence-based tools for improving glucose regulation naturally. Finding it tough to keep your blood sugar steady? What if the key isn't just what you eat, but how you combine your meals? Managing blood sugar doesn't have to be complicated. Small changes can make a big difference. Which protein source will you try first? Share your thoughts or tips in the comments. I'm excited to hear from you. And if you want simple, effective diabetes advice, hit subscribe and join us on this journey. Let's take control of our health with smart, easy steps.